Hello, living in Boulder vlog. 142 on March 15th. Haven't done a vlog for about a week. Um, so that means um, that the work that I'm doing is very tedious. Um, yeah. I was working yesterday. I got up really early, like at 7 or something. No, 8. And then I was working until 5 in the morning. And so right now it's 4:03, 1:43, so I might get a little bit diurnalized, but I have to do stuff on Saturday. Um, so yeah, bike racer level pages. Um, Super tedious. Yeah, what I'm doing is I want to divide up the levels from all the different categories, all the different distances, with a thorough set of the data from England and America. I couldn't really find stuff from Canada and Australia, but that's enough. I've got enough because my computer's getting overheated anyway. So yeah, I've been like converting miles an hour to kilometers an hour. It's super tedious, but it's the reason that I'm like being doing it perfectly, being anal about it, is because consistency. I want my whole website to be consistent, to show information in the same way in each page, to show it in as similar a way as I can, which is kind of it's a challenge because it's a daisy chain, and like if you have 1,000 people and you accidentally skip a number, and then you have to redo it, and that happens all the time. So and not just with numbers, but everything, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so you have to redo the daisy chain. So you have to make sure that you do it right the first time, but not just with the design, but I mean numbers and stuff, but like the design, like how you're going to make it look. You can change. You have it with the CSS, so you can change if you don't like it. This whatever. If I have a certain font color to signify a category, you can change all that. But there's things that you can't change, and you have to change individually. So I can't really give you examples right now because I'm really high. I got really stoned before making this. But yeah. So I have to be decisive at the very beginning, and then work a lot, and then be prepared to have to redo stuff all the time. So, and I haven't been making very good progress. Like yesterday, it wasn't that much progress because it was just sitting around looking at the computer. Like for example, the last thing I did, I had all the time trials from 40 kilometer, which is the 1 hour, and on the title it was double spaced, and because there was like I had ads on either side, and somewhere along the line there must have been like a paragraph or a break that made it bigger, but my computer was too slow to be able to see that, so I just replaced it. The ads in the table with just the title. So it's just words because you can put the ads in the vertical part anyway, and that fixed it. But just to do that operation, cut and then paste, cut and then paste, took about at least 5 minutes. At least I didn't time myself, but maybe 10. And then there were a bunch of those that I had to do because the page is just so damn big. Yeah, the website was kicking the shit out of this computer. I don't know how many pages it was in terms of text or megabyte size, but I'll figure that out later after I do the writing. But yeah, like that website's kicking the shit out of this computer, but the computer can do it. So yeah, if I built most of my website with that other computer, I don't know how the hell I did it. I must have just had them broken up into so many different pages and then pasted them together. But yeah, it's so much faster with this. And so I had the thought yesterday. I was like, geez, I could make this so much faster if I had a faster computer. And so that led me to believe that I think the future of web design, once computers are faster, is going to be pretty much looking like computers, websites like mine, where the pages are just freaking huge, because then it won't be any time off out of your day to add stuff. You know, like you could, in fact, you could probably do it with your voice. You know, like you just talk to your computer, and then the computer can like fix the grammar and everything for you. So it just writes it, and then maybe even the pictures. You're like, yeah, and then line the pictures, boom, and it just does it. So you could build like you could take a page on my website, like any page that's huge, you know, like an ancient book, Livy, right? Like maybe even in just 10 years, because computers will understand your voice, and because they'll be fast. Like maybe in 10 years, somebody could literally build Livy in like one day. We'll be like, yeah, put Livy here. Yes, master. And then put the chapters like this. Okay. And then put the photos, this photo, you know, and then boom, it does it. Or even if you do it manually, but the computer doesn't think. You know, like right now, if I were to open up Livy, like it's 3,300 pages. It'd take like a half hour to load. Same thing with my 40-kilometer levels. It would take about a half hour to load. But imagine if it takes 1 second to load. Like, there were websites are going to be freaking huge. Like, right now, it seems like in YouTube, over the last little bit, more like a whole lot more people are doing YouTube. And I mean, that'd be cool to look at the stats. I haven't looked, but like an explosion. But imagine if there's an explosion, like a super explosion, where everybody starts doing it. You know, like they changed from the horse and buggy to the car. When it has to, and having to do with having personal websites, because it's so easy, you know, where you have, you have a section where it's like what I think about this, and it's like 300 different things, and it has you, you know, both in written and speaking, because it's just so easy to process, you know, like maybe there's a program on the computer that can do the whole thing. I'm ready to do my, you know, video now, put this in there, you know. So anyway, once it's easy and everybody starts doing that, because it's the most fulfilling way to express yourself, that'll be an amazing world. That's when the world's fixed. So yeah. And my cell phone, you know, like my cell phone can't really handle a page. I was looking at, what page was it? I think it was the 40-kilometer time trial page, the page that kicks the shit out of my computer. My cell phone could navigate around that page, you know. There was a lag, so it wasn't really worth it. Or actually, you could make it worth it if you just know how to, you know what the lag is. It was only like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, but yeah, that means the next generation of cell phones is going to be like no problem, you know. You can just click around from page to page. What I'm saying is, I don't think people are taking advantage of the scroll. You know, maybe it's because of the rules that AdSense used to have. I don't know if they still have it. My mouth is drying up. Where you could only have 5 ads per page, so then they'd want to have lots of different pages. But when your computer can handle it and the pages can load because the internet's good enough, that having a scroll is underutilized. It should be utilized, because I have, like Livy, for example. I have Livy, the Bible, plenty. I've got all these books that are 3,000 plus pages. And when the pages are loaded there and you're scrolling, like it's not too big. You can still scroll to a page. Like you can still have enough control over it to control one single page. You know, barely. But you know, but by the time you get there, you just use the trackball, or not the trackball, but the, you know, whatever, the wheel, and so you can zoom, and then of course, you know, you have the menu on the top, so you can just click back to the menu, and you can just teleport to any part of the book. And so there's no reason to not have an entire book on one page. Oh, also because of the Control F. Control F is the most amazing tool, because if you're listening to a book, I mean, it's like the gateway to omniscience. If you're listening to a book and you remember what book it is, because I heard some interesting stuff, and no, I didn't remember the book. But yeah, and then you hear like, you know, you hear them say something interesting, and you're like say you're on a ride, right? And you're like, oh wow, that was interesting. And then you finish the book, you know, and then you come home, you're like, okay, what was that, you know? Well, if you have Control F, which they don't have on any website except for mine, you can find where you were. You know, you just do the word search over and over until boom, you found it. And then you can memorize where that was in the book, you know, so if you want to reference it later. So, yeah, so it's, yeah, and so this other thing that I was doing was, I'm continuing to collect all of the decades. I did the centuries of the 20th century, and now I'm doing the decades from 0 to 2000, which is 200 of them. So I'm in like 1780s now. It's been taking forever because they get longer as you go forward, and then you're like, you know, you want to take a break and stuff. But yeah, I want to get to 1900s, and then I'll probably finish today if I really into it. And then all of those decades get long. But then, yeah, and that's really fun, man. You should try it because you always hear these things. You're like, wait, what? First, what? That was interesting. Or this happened, what? You know? And then, so then you can go and read the Wikipedia because it's off Wikipedia. So you just click it. It's amazing. Rabbit hole. I'm so high when I listen to it, though. I go, oh, that's interesting. And then at the end of the one, I go, yeah, that was interesting. What was that? That was it? I don't remember. So I just move on. But, you know, I want to keep moving forward. And then I want to do the ones that go back. I don't know how far, but it's going to be interesting. When I collected them, you know, the links from my webpage on it, I saw, you know, where they ended. It was like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 BC or whatever. But yeah, that's going to be fun to go backwards. But, and then implement the test. Oh, and set up a system, a grading system for it. And a webpage for that. That might take a while. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if computers are faster, it wouldn't take that much time, you know. It'd be worth it. Like Wikipedia, I bet in like 10 or 20 years, it's just going to be another fucking website because everybody's going to be, you know, poaching each other's information and, you know, writing articles about this and that. You know, it'll be freaking everywhere. And yeah, and all these like neocon pundits you have now brainwashing everybody will just be other voices in the big channels and stuff. Anyway, yeah. So today I'm gonna. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Like I stopped this morning at a really good stopping point. It was when I was done with all this teacher stuff. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I saw all these. See, I don't even know when I did this. It was when I moved into Boulder, and I was working on it for a long time. But I collect all this stuff that I didn't remember when I first started working on this page again. I didn't remember how much stuff I had collected. So. With all these races, I want everything within Colorado. Luckily, not everything, but all like the ones that fall into the representatives of different distances. Yeah, but it's I have to finish those. You know, the daisy chain to make it all consistent. So I have to do miles an hour and convert it to kilometers and all this math. But I figured out the math easy. The math is easy. I don't know why I ever had trouble with it. Just simple dividing and multiplying. Oh my god, have I been talking too long? I get carried away. Oh my god, this is the longest one in forever. Okay, I'm gonna go later.